Okay, there's a lot of questions on how to repair your S90 throttle body. This is a 74 millimeter. I don't know exactly the 70 millimeter specs, but I'll show you what I did. So here's our problem. This is the cable side. There's a ton of slop. Now normally, on the other side, it's very hard to tell in the video, but you can see this groove where the pick is. They should have machined this down, what, 5 millimeters or something, and put a double lip seal in here. That would have solved all the problems. Why they didn't do that, I have no clue. They did it on the other side and put a single lip seal, which still leaks, but you can put a double lip in it and then it seals up. So this side, they thought, well, we'll use these things, and if you look, you can see a small ledge right there. And they really thought that that little ledge would seal inside the bearing. Yeah, right, in your dreams. It'll never happen. If you look at mine closely, you can already see the metals bent, missing. Yeah, right, never had a chance. So that was their idea. Now the bearing is stabilized in there. That's what keeps this thing from rocking back and forth. There's a step, so it comes down, step, and goes in there. So that's how it works. So the bearing keeps it, you know, from doing that, and then it seals up. So the top of the bearing seals. The bottom of the sealing bearing seals on the shaft. The problem is the air is coming right through the ball bearing area. I mean, that's just a cover. I took it off. So you have one side and the other side. These aren't sealed at all. Like, they're just barely pushed in there. They just pop off. So I thought about it and I tried 100 different things of gaskets around the bearing, in the bearing, and finally said, I'm trying too hard. I just need to put a seal on the back. Now, you only have so much room in there. And normally there's two of these things. The way it comes from the manufacturer is the bearing comes in, goes on, slips on first, and then you put a plate on over top of the bearing, and then it has a shim that goes on top, and then you have a snap ring. Well, if you introduce this, you're going to have to delete something somewhere. So the good news is I had some rubber that was approximately the thickness of this. So if you look at this, make sure we get nice flats. Yeah, 1.4 mil. So if you can find a gasket that's similar to that, we know we have that much room to play with. Sure enough, oh, look at that. I have some gaskets about the same. So all I did was just carefully punch a perfect hole that's going to seal at the bottom and then seal the perimeter. Now I've already had this installed. You can see where the bearing has made imprints. So all you do is cut that, whatever size, I don't know, I can quickly measure that. That hole's, I don't know, 8.3 mil is the center hole. Come on, I gotta make sure of this. There we go. And then the OD is, you want the OD just slightly, you know, it's gonna just slip inside the hole there, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. Looks like about 25.5 mil. So, and that's all you do is just make a little gasket. And so, and then I would encourage to put some, just for smooth, just some little, just a little lubricant on the thing, so the shaft, because the shaft is still going to spin inside here just like a seal. We've just got, instead of a little, you know, we just made our own seal. So now I'm not going to put any on now. I'll put it on when I put it. This is just for demonstrations. Don't use a pick. That's a good way to puncture a hole. So it's going to kind of fit over top of it here. It should be snug. I mean, you want it touching in all 360 degrees. Okay. This is just for demonstration purposes. All right. Okay, so we'll go in like that. I know it's going to get hard to see here, but the seal's in there, and then here. All you do is put your bearing in. Bearing just presses down in there like that, and then of course you would put the lip seal on it. Again, this is just for demo, but to pull that in and out, I have it off because I use pliers to grab this inner race to help pull it in and off. And then you're gonna delete this thing here because the thickness has pushed the whole thing out that wasn't there before. So you're gonna delete that, and you're just gonna put your wave spring in now. And then your snap ring. Ta-da, you're done. Almost. Now I went ahead and just for precautionary, I threw this baby in here, another O-ring, just between here and here, just because I have it, and why not? The more sealed we can make this, the better. You're going to want to know how big that O-ring is. I'm measuring it right now. It looks like it's about a 10 mil. 10 millimeter by 10 millimeter OD, 1.5 thickness, and the IRD seems to be about 6.5 millimeters. So if you want to do that, I don't know if you have to do that, but I don't think so, but it doesn't hurt. So now we're almost done here. Now the only thing you have left to do is, because you have pushed, normally the bearing would sit in further because these things, the inside diameter of this would go over top of that. So it never actually touched the bearing. But because our seal is actually pressing against this metal, it's physically pushed it back, you know, this way. It's pushed it back out. So to compensate for that, as you go to put the spring, on, you know, on the cable, what I found out when I tried to tighten it was the sleeve, because this, you know, you put this, there's a, now once you have that, then you can put this on. It's just a cover, and that should make it where it is. But it's then you put this sleeve on. That's how it goes. But it's because it's pushed it all the way out, I couldn't get the spring and the screw all the way set because you've pushed it out. What was that, 1 point, whatever the thickness is, you pushed it out 1.5. So I ended up just trimming. I had to just trim that, you know, that surface 1.5 to make up the difference, and then it would seat further in like it's supposed to. This side should be flush, and then that's it. Ta-da! And then you put your spring on and you screw it in. So that's how I found a way to seal it. I'm sure there's other ways. Like I said, I boost leak tested this, and I don't know, it was good to 50 psi or whatever. A little boost leak will never kill you, but this thing was leaking pretty bad. I mean, you could hear it whistling at, I don't know, 20 or whatever. You're just whistling and making all kinds of noise, and now it's pretty sealed up. So that's it. That's how you fix at least how I fixed it. Feel free to try another way if you want.